Instagram stories for Monday, June 3rd. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. We're going to dive into the question and answer from Adam Mosseri on his Ask Me Anything in a couple of minutes. But first, I want to talk about something that happened on Friday that I think is very telling when it comes to social media as a whole, but also Instagram's view of the world. Let me give a little bit of context. If you're not familiar, there's an app many people use called ManyChat. What ManyChat does is allow you to send automated DMs with links to people who make comments on your Instagram post. So, for instance, if you would normally say, tap on the link in my bio, that's kind of passé. Who's going to do that, right? But instead you say, comment the word podcast to get a link to the podcast, or comment freebie below to get a link to whatever. You can do that and it will send the person a direct message with the information that you want to send them, and you don't have to do anything. However, Instagram posted a video on the @creators account explaining why this was a bad idea.
First, don't try to hack engagement. And here's what we mean by that. If we believe your content explicitly asks for engagement through shares, comments, tags, or other actions, then we won't recommend it. An example of this is asking people to comment with a specific word, number, or emoji. We do, however, encourage you to create content that inspires people to engage in real discussion. So open-ended questions and call to actions, they're both fair game.
Okay, now that you have that bit of context, I will tell you right off the bat that Instagram took that video down the same afternoon they posted it. However, to give a little bit more information, ManyChat is an authorized Instagram and Facebook business partner. And in fact, I had the CEO of ManyChat, Mike Yan, on my podcast. It was a couple of years ago now, and I have tried to reconnect with Mike since so I could have him on for another interview. I haven't heard back from him. But the point is, Instagram does not always know what they're doing, and this is a perfect example of it. So if you ever feel like you're struggling with your social media strategy and you're not sure what to do next, you are in good company. That's the point of this. Okay, now that we got that news out of the way, let's dive into Adam Mosseri's Ask Me Anything. The questions that I'm going to start with have to do with notes. If you're not familiar, notes are inside the direct message box. It's like a AIM status that we used to do back in the day when you stepped away from your computer, except they last for 24 hours. Instagram has been working to enhance those. If you didn't hear my most recent episode talking about that, go back and listen to the episode I recorded on Thursday. With that context, the first question, should I be using notes to engage with my community? This is an excellent question. I would use both notes and the broadcast channel to engage with your community, but here's Adam's answer.
Notes are a great way to engage with your friends if you are using Instagram to connect with friends. They are not a great way to interact with your followers if you are a creator, because the way that privacy works is it's either for your close friends or your mutual follows. So awesome to engage with your friends, not awesome to engage with your followers if you're a large creator.
Okay, let's do another notes question. What's your vision for notes? Any new features you're adding to it, or are you keeping it as it is? Here's Adam's answer.
Instagram is about connecting people, usually around their interests. And one of the things I love about notes is they are an excuse to start a conversation with someone that you care about. And they kind of go back to the root of Instagram, which is really about connecting with people you know in real life. So we're experimenting with other ways to extend notes in addition to the improvements this week. One of the interesting things that we are experimenting with right now is the ability to add a note to any piece of content. So if you came across a reel, you could see something that your friends said about it, but it wouldn't be a public comment. It would just be visible to their mutual follows or their close friends. And then you could start a conversation about it. So we'll see if that works. That's one of the ideas I'm excited about right now.
Just as a reminder that Instagram has said historically that notes perform very well with teenage users. So if you want to market to teenagers or that demographic is where you want to focus, be sure to use notes because they're very into it. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive into some other questions, like, is it normal to lose followers year over year? And why do my reels get more views from Facebook than Instagram? I love that question. Stick around. And we're back. Okay, let's keep going with the question and answer. I love this question so much. My reels get way more views from Facebook. Why? Here's Adam's answer.
Without knowing more about your account, it's hard for me to say, but some people are going to find more success on other platforms, and that's okay. I think each platform has its own user bases. There's overlap, but there's also differences, and it might be that you have more people who are interested in your content on one platform than the other. That's why one of the things that I think is good is people experimenting with multiple platforms.
I don't really feel like that answer gave me what I was looking for, but then again, it is hard to answer these questions without more context. Okay, let's go on to the next question. What is your favorite editing tool in Reels? I personally like the green screen effect, but I will say that I'm very annoyed that the microphone on my external mic does not work within the Instagram app. It doesn't work within CapCut. It doesn't work within TikTok. I'm not sure if that's an Android issue or something else I haven't figured out yet, but man, is that annoying. My favorite feature inside Reels editing, though, is the green screen. I have not found the green screen effect in CapCut to work properly. I'm not sure if I just don't understand how it works in CapCut or what. I use it in TikTok and I use it in Instagram. Green screen, by far my favorite. Here's Adam's answer.
I've been really into the green screen lately. I use it for doing these creator spotlights where I can talk about amazing creators who do and use our tools really well. For me, it's just like a really fun, kind of hacky, almost feeling way to make interesting content.
Oh, hey, we said the same answer. Sometimes great minds think alike. Let's go on to the next question. Is it normal to lose followers year over year? This is a really tough one. I mean, if the quality of your content has gone down year over year, then potentially yes. If your content is not being surfaced to new people who like it, and the people who have been following you on your journey for a long time are tired of it, then yes, they might drop off and no longer want to follow you. I think about all the TV shows that I used to really watch and love, and then maybe around season 4 or 5 or 6, I just got tired of it. And I said, okay, I have seen everything that this TV show is going to do, and I think I can find a new TV show. And that's fine. That's how life works. So if someone is viewing your content that same way, they might choose to just unfollow and move on.
It definitely happens. Some people, well, actually, I'll say this. Everybody loses followers every day because lots of people actively unfollow people they have followed before as they try to curate their experience. But also most people get new followers every day. And your overall follower count obviously is going to grow if you get more new followers than followers that you lose. If you're losing followers, that is tough. That means obviously more people are unfollowing you than following you. I would try and experiment with new ways to reach more people. Particularly think about creating content that people would want to share with their friends, because that's a great way to grow your following count. If I see an amazing video from you and I send it to a friend, then they might follow you. So I would experiment with different ways you might create shareable content.
Okay, and the last question we're going to do you need a minimum number of followers to start monetizing your content? I'm going to let Adam answer that in a second, but if you want to monetize using the Instagram Creator Marketplace, you definitely need 10,000 followers. I've never seen any evidence of not. With Adam's answer, though, what he's going to talk about in terms of monetization, that involves working with brands specifically. So if you reach out to a brand and you want to partner with them and you want to monetize your account, that's what Adam's talking about. Here's his answer.
Not necessarily. I do think that even if you have a relatively small following, if it's a niche interest and it's a very passionate following, it's possibly really aligned with an advertiser's interests and you can monetize through branded content. But in general, I think Marquez's advice on this was good in the interview I recently did, which is you should turn on monetization early, but you shouldn't focus on it early. When you're small as an Instagram creator or creator on any other platform, your energy is probably better spent focused on figuring out your identity and your strategy. Hey, buddy. And then once you get big, you can figure out how... Oh, man.
Sounds like a kid got in the way of finishing that answer, but you get the gist. That is going to do it for today's episode. As always, thank you so much for listening. And if you have any ideas on how I can improve this show to either make it better, more impactful, clearer, whatever you think I can do to make it better overall or turn the listeners more into a community, any ideas you have, send them my way at Daniel Hill Media. Rap song time.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course or book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency. But I got a lot of spam, just putting in my work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.